Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Bowman and Neuro on Dusk Towers. In the bottom side of the map, we have the red Protoss player. It is Bowman, representing Psystorm Gaming. And in the top side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. It is Neuro from Exile 5. Alright, so this is a PvZ here on Dusk Towers. We've seen this matchup before on this very map, and at least two very excellent games. So let's get right on into it. Alright, so Zergs like to open up hatch first against Protoss these days, so I assume that's what Neuro is going for. Let's see if he... Alright, let's see if he goes for the spawning pool at 200 minerals. Nope, he's going to send it out here. Hatchery first on the low ground. And yeah, that makes sense because it's easier to defend your expansion here and your ramp here rather than your expansion here and the ramp here. Just a lot less ground to cover. But I expect Neuro will take a third base up here before long, so it's kind of a moot point. Oh, hey, look at this. Bowman went for a quick Nexus first here. Pylon into Nexus against his Zerg opponent. You can do this on this map because this is a very, very safe location. The only way you can Zerg player can get to it is through drop lords or mutas or things like that. And again, you can wall this off very easily, especially if your opponent went for a quick hatchery first. There's no way Lings are going to be out in time to do anything to get inside this base. Although, interestingly enough, Bowman is not walling off. He's throwing up his gateway here. So he wants to protect his mineral line, but he might leave this one exposed. If Neuro does plan to go for some early harassment here with some speedlings, he does have the extractor out. He's going for speed here, although only has 2 workers on, so he's not going for a quick speedling attack. He would instead like to get his worker count up instead, which is what that tells me. As Neuro is a very excellent Zerg player, I would not make that mistake unless it were an intentional mistake. I don't know what I'm saying. But basically, he has 3 workers there now, so let's not worry about it. Bowman is checking to see if there's an expansion back here, and there's not. There's nothing to worry about. There's no quick third hatch at all, which is actually a bad thing for Neuro, because if he wants to keep up even in macro with his Protoss opponent, now that Chrono Boost is available on a second Nexus, as it is here, he probably should have a third hatchery here before too long, unless he wants to go for some crazy 2-hatch play, some aggression here with roaches and ravagers, which could also work for him, considering, again, this ramp is wide open. I'm not sure what Bowman is trying to do here, man. If Lings did show up, they could basically force a cancel on that, no problem. Bowman would not be able to stop it. His Cybernetics core is just starting now, and look at this, taking a third here is Neuro. So he's trying to fake his opponent out. Bowman is totally expecting a third base up here, which makes a ton of sense, but unfortunately for him... Oh, he's even trying to block it. The third base is actually here for Neuro. I've never seen this before from a Zerg player. What an interesting decision. He's now getting speed. Alright, but I mean, it won't be done for a while. There's no way speedlings are going to show up. His Overlord is just now scouting that wide open ramp, and it's just an invitation. It's an invitation to come in here and just crush this thing for Neuro. Worker count at this point is 31 to 22. Look at Bowman go. Absolutely pumping out those workers so quickly. APM for both these players is well over 200 right now. Currently about 100 for Bowman. It was up there for a bit. Neuro playing pretty darn quickly, around 300, spamming his little heart off. Did send some links back here to knock down this pylon, which just tells Bowman what he thinks he already knows, is that he was trying to go for a third here, Neuro was, and he denied it. But unfortunately, this sneaky third base could be a big deal. Scouting Overlord does scout some stuff out, does see the Nexus, does see the Adept, does see the presence of the second base, which he already knew about, no big deal, and now starting to wall off his Bowman. So it's late, but it didn't really hurt anything. I mean, no harm, no foul. No Lings showed up, nothing tried to kill him. So now walling off, which is generally a good idea just to avoid Ling run-bys throughout the entire game from your Zerg opponent, is just not a bad choice whatsoever here. So Forge up, Twilight Council up, Adept coming on back home here too. That's going to be a full wall with the Adept. There it is, and with a Sentry just for extra force field capabilities. And is Bowman going for a third Nexus here? Might, except there are some speedlings, so that is going to be an obstacle for our friend Bowman. Actually trying to throw down a pylon on the low ground here. Can the Lings get in? Oh my gosh, they got through. They got through with the surround on the Sentry. This Sentry is now completely dead. That force field will not last forever. If the Lings can get up that ramp, it's going to be a huge deal. Trying to hold it here. Another Sentry did pop out. The Lings managed to get on inside to this base here. One of them, anyways, trying to knock down a Nexus all by its lonesome. That will never ever happen in 100 million years. And does get sniped down by the double Adept there too. So just denying the third base here is Neuro. Meanwhile, back in his base, we do have a Roach Warren coming up. Also upgrading to a Lair and Resonating Glaives on the way for our friend Bowman, which just means he wants to make quite a few Adepts, wants to take advantage of the DPS. That additional upgrade, increasing the attack speed of Adepts by 45%, can give him Double gateways under construction here too. The Lings just kind of poking up, trying to kill this probe, but this is a good number of Adepts against this number of Lings. Generally, like I said, Lings are pretty good against Adepts if they have good numbers there, but in this situation, wow, just denying this so well. Look how annoying he's being. Can he get this probe? No, can't get the probe. He went for it. Probe had one more hit to take before it exploded. Couldn't quite get there, did Neuro, but he denied that base for quite some time. Meanwhile, his third base is up and running. It's 48 to 60 harvesters. Neuro has been droning like a madman. All the way up to 60. Bowman needs to do something, man. He needs to get out. I mean, he needs to make some adept attacks. He's getting a robotics bay right now, which is fine. Again, resonating glaives there being chrono boost at the same time that +1 ground weapons is. But you can't just leave a Zerg player alone this long, Bowman. You can't do it. It's 5 minutes into the game. You're already letting me get a 4th base. You have killed. Let's take a look. Absolutely nothing. Oh, no. Any workers killed? No. Bowman has killed 0 workers. He has killed a bunch of Lings, but no workers, which is exactly how you need to beat a Zerg player of Neuro's caliber. Glial reconstitution is being researched by Neuro, also getting a Hydralisk Den. And look at this, a Stargate and a Robotics Bay for Bowman. That's an interesting combination. You don't see that every day of the week. We do have some Adepts moving up, Adept and Sentry, trying to push on up here, but really any number of Roaches, any number of Lings should be able to handle this, and we have both. So here we go, Lings coming up for that full surround and going to be able to get it. That Sentry is going to die. The Adepts could probably escape here. Oh, the recall though. Ah, the recall getting out before too many units actually died there. So nicely done by Bowman, bringing the Mothership Core along. And here comes the counterattack. Lings on up. They know that that main army is likely not sitting up here at the third base. They're going to go ahead and snipe down these pylons so that no photon overcharge can be available at all. First disruptor on the way for Bowman here. And Lings once again getting a nice surround. There it is. That's the numbers they want to see. Getting a full surround on those Adepts. The Roaches and a single Ravager actually wasting DPS here on this gateway. They should be attacking the Adepts, but instead they decide to pull on out, recognizing that they are greatly outnumbered by the number of Adepts here with +1 attack and resonating glaives. Holy smokes, extended thermal lance. Bowman wants everything, man. He is going for Stargate. He's going for Disruptors. He's going for Colossus off of 3 base. I mean, he can fund it. I think just barely off of 3 bases he can do it, assuming he gets a good worker count, gets these extra 2 assimilators as he is. Then he should be just fine. The problem is he just really hasn't done anything to bother Neuro at all to this point. Colossus under construction as well as I expected based on that thermal lance upgrade. Nothing too crazy there. Muscular augments being researched by Neuro, just increasing the attack speed. Nope, attack range and movement speed of the Hydra is a bit of a misspeak there. Overlord scouting things on out. What does Neuro know about his opponent right now? He does not know about the Robotics Bay. He does not know about the Stargate either, so a little bit lax on his scouting report here is Neuro, but he should be okay. He's up 144 to 126 total supply. So many Roaches, so many Hydras in production right now. Extended Thermal Lance about to finish. Colossus, not bad in this situation, especially against Hydras. They really tear Hydras up, even with the damage nerf that they took to the face in Legacy of the Void. They're still pretty darn good in that particular situation. Also good against Marines and other low hit point units. Not as good against Roaches as they used to be. 13 damage times 2 with a range of 6 to be upgraded to, I always forget, is that +3? We'll have to see. So it's 6 right now and done all the way up to range 9. Yeah, exactly. So +3 additional attack there. That is awesome little 3D animation there with a Purifier skin. Is that what that is? I think that's the Purifier skin. Coming on out there, zapping stuff with its red laser. Red laser and blue laser has a pretty big army right now. 145 to 178 total supply. Here comes Neuro pushing on out with Roaches, with Lings. I'm not sure if this is the right composition. They do scout the Oracle though, which is nice. They see the Oracle heading on up. There's a Spore Crawler and a Queen here. That base should be just fine. No reason to lose more than 1 or 2 workers to this attack from the Oracle. But here it swings on in anyway. Watch out. Watch out for that. But here comes a big wraparound attack with Roaches, getting a nice concave and sniping down one of the Colossus immediately. Another one up top, though, doing some damage. Roaches coming from the backside. Amazing sandwich going on right now from Neuro, taking down Adepts, losing units, though, here. The Roach count not as high as it used to be. The Colossus does end up falling. Stalkers and Adepts not that great against this many Roaches. +1 missile attack has finished on the Roaches here. Going to get a nice attack on all of them. Stalkers do not do very well against this particular composition. I'd like to see some Immortals in production, but Bowman instead is going for yet another Colossus here, as this Roach count finally does get sniped on down by the Stalkers with +2 attack, doing 16 damage versus Armored. The Overseers too might get sniped on down depending on the blink abilities of these Stalkers. They have another blink available. They do, and they do take down the Overseer. So pretty nice hold there by Bowman. I'd say a resource is lost. Oh, did I just did. All right, hang on. I'll be right back. And we're back with the death of that Overseer. What I was trying to do is this. Resources lost, units killed, 33 to 119. Bowman again killing a lot more stuff here compared to Neuro. But if we take a look here at the resources lost, or the resources lost there, 5,000 lost versus 6,000 lost for Neuro. So it looks like the Zerg player has actually lost quite a bit more than I expected compared to his Protoss opponent. The Oracle leaves having gotten no kills whatsoever. Warp Prism warping on in here for round 2. There was an attack of Adepts here. Didn't do a whole lot earlier, though. Looks like maybe they did get a couple worker kills there. Workers killed 5 so far. Going after that, the Roaches and the Hydras doing a fantastic job against these guys, though. The Adepts trying to run, trying to get picked up. 2 of them do manage to escape. The Hydra can't chase down that War Prism and get rid of it, unfortunately, for Neuro. A single Overseer, rather, hanging on out. And it's going to be continued Colossus production from Bowman. He's trying to make this thing work with Colossus, and I just don't know. This is so many Hydras. He's not even going for Lurkers, but some Mutas on the way for Neuro, so he's trying to make that thing be a thing as well. Dark Shrine and Fleet Beacon on the way for Bowman. He wants all the tech off 4 bases, man. I don't know if this is a great idea. Here we come. So many Hydras with +2 attack versus +3 attack on the Stalkers. The Lings getting in first are going to get melted very quickly. Indeed, it's going to be Hydra. Just pure Hydra from Neuro trying to do this thing. There's a single Colossus. A lot of Stalkers. Stalkers do very poorly. Nice Photon Overcharge coming up here as well from double of these pylons. That Colossus with 5 total kills, trying to snipe down the Mothership Core. They do get it. This Colossus, 2 kills as well here, just doing a lot of work. The Colossus does end up falling a big warp in here of Zealots. Oh no, canceling those by killing the pylon. Nicely done indeed, but forcing the Hydras back here once again. Nope, the Hydras say we can take down a single Colossus. Why not? And they do. Exploding in that gout of red flame. These are not charge lots, not going to be very good at all, with some decent micro and some decent kiting from Neuro. These guys should all be completely dead. Meanwhile, a single Ling trying to knock down that base on over there. Hydra's going to knock down the 4th base. Meanwhile, the 5th base is complete by Neuro. He has some Mutas just hanging out right there. The Nexus is going to fall, and there it goes. Both assimilators going to get at the same time. Nice coordination there by Neuro. The Ling's knocking down the pylon. And now a big Lurker morphin here. 8 Lurkers morphing in. It's 184 to 74 total supply here. A single pylon comes in, it gets probe rather comes in and gets knocked right on down. There are Archons mixed in. It just does not look good at all for our friend Bowman. It's 33 to 111 army supply. Let's go ahead and have a moment of silence for Bowman right now, as the Lurkers are going to burrow right on his ramp. And that's going to be all she wrote. The Ling's going to knock on in here too, going to get on top of everything, trying to kill that single cannon that is very well hidden actually. A lot of these Lings not doing much of anything whatsoever. The Lurkers should probably move up just a little bit to make this thing happen. Over here we have some Mutas flying around, some Phoenix trying to deal with them without being microed at all. At this point, the Phoenix forced to chase them away. And here come the Lings once again for round number 2. The Lurkers are not burrowing up at all. They're going to go to take down this gateway. The Roach is actually taking pretty big shots to the face here, trying to lift as many of the Lurkers as possible. Are these Phoenix, but getting shots on them. Ooh, by the Mutas, taking those guys down easily. Doesn't happen very often. The Lurkers do burrow again here, right on top of everything. All these Archons should die pretty much instantly. There's a single Immortal back here with 11 kills, but his day is done, and that's it. A GG from Bowman. Bowman's defeated, and Neuro is victorious. Yeah, so once again, it just shows the importance. You have to harass. You have to harass the Zerg player earlier in the game, or else you end up in that situation where there are 60 to 70 workers for the Zerg. You're only close to 50 or so, and it just snowballs out of control from there. So good attempt here by Bowman. I think he went a little bit too tech happy. He went for the Stargate, went for the Robotics Bay, and for the Dark Shrine and the the Fleet Beacon. Just absolutely trying to get everything done. You really need to pick a particular composition and stick with it if you're going to go ahead and beat a Zerg player as good as Neuro. So well played again by Neuro today. Hats off to him and representing the Zerg race, and that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both /Falcon Paladin. Go ahead and check out the shirts in my store at the end of this cast when the music is playing. There's a link. You can just click on it. Takes you right to the store. Super easy to find. And you can represent StarCraft 2 as well. So that is about it. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.